coming in at 6-6, going up against the Texans, who come in at 8-4. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure. But it falls incomplete, and it's second down. Offensive starters here. Wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, a talented wide receiver.
And he's still looking for that ultimate recognition. He wants to be mentioned with the best receivers in the game. His numbers suggest that we should do so.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Michael Bennett's one of the best pass-rushing defensive linemen in the game. Normally plays defensive end, but when they go to those nickel packages and he works inside, look out, offensive guards. You've got a problem.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
Green 39! Green 39!
Looking to throw. And Anderson's got it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
First down carry now for Miller. Stays on his feet. Lamar Miller. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything, just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around and
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So holding penalty here, Charles.
You get outside of 5 yards downfield and you get grabby with an offensive player, the flag will come out every time.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jermaine Kearse, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. On 2nd down, here's Miller. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jonathan Joseph goes under the radar a little bit as one of the better cover corners in the league, but his team knows his value. He can lock up good receivers.
On second down, rolls. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that's...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Whitney Merciless coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On second down, here's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come out here in the eye. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that. Dragging the toes. And that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now a handoff to Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Marshall, the lone receiver on the left side. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
7 yards on the play, and it'll be second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Wilson again to Rawls. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside. Because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. Now Wilson. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dumps it complete to Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 12. And that'll be good for a Houston first. possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Lamar Miller. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run it again with Miller. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. They were trying to get the connection with a former Buckeye, Braxton Miller. And now it's 4th down. Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. It's really something. Even when he's hitting these from distance, big-time distance, he manages to put them right down the middle, doesn't he?
No doubt about that one. Never a doubt. And this is no extra point. That's 50-plus. And that's the definition of splitting the uprights.
And out now come the Seahawks. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Second down now after the incompletion. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Hard throw, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And 4th down coming up.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long. So throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Third down now following the run. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Trying to lay one up, and this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
After the interception, pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. J.J. Watt in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Time to step aside. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Now Wilson on 2nd down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, and he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on first down.
That gave them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on first down.
Miller, the lone setback. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? So that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love it.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through, and that will get the lead up to 14. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us wanted to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit. Taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little
looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Now comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Again, it's Miller. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They come out here in the eye. Here's a give to Miller. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll toss it to Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bullock will put this one through. We have hit. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show, I guess. We're ready for the third quarter. Let's go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. 23 yards on the play.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Now Wilson on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse. That'll bring up second down.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On third down, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. On first and 10, it's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Again on second and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
In motion is the tight end, Graham. Throwing again here, Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Wind at his back now in this third quarter. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will close the gap down to 14. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
That's fielded in the end zone. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And the Texans are going to have a first.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ballgame. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Ryan Quigley now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is fielded inside the 5. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now Wilson looking. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 42. It's a big play there for Seattle. 44 yards. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They go play action here on 1st down. They shakes him off, eluding the pressure right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Under pressure, they got him again. Whitney merciless. In there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Third and long. It's Wilson. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're going to get this one up to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Fresh set of downs here. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run for it with Miller. Room here to run. Lamar Miller. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. Red zone opportunity. And here we go on first and goal. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll they'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The former Seahawk and former Super Bowl MVP, Malcolm Smith, in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon. Now Wilson on 2nd down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And he's got Lockett. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually, but first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing again here, Wilson. Flushed out right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Texans scoop it. The big fella. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. Here's Wilson. He hits Baldwin right side. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well. Third and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Throwing is Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Whitney Merciless in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Oh, but he'll be stopped well short of the first down marker, and it's a turnover on downs. And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Over. There we go now. Patriot.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to run it with Morris. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
He'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, C.J. Uzama, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense, but in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass, excellent job, way to knock it down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Here's Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Texans continue to pour it on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first down, Wilson. It's caught outright by Graham. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether he's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. 10 yards still left on second down. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And down inside the 15 he goes. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
On is Hauschka now for the Seahawk field goal. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.